everyone. Just wanted to go over the week 7 quiz results quickly. First of all, welcome to the last week. So, last time you have to listen to me blather on about the quiz. You're probably happy about that. Just wanted to go over, I just have 4 questions that were within the quiz results for this week. First one was the PPACA, ACA, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it. I usually just call it the ACA, so that's what I'm going to call it. ACA raised taxes on individuals making less than $200,000 per year. Was that true or false? The correct answer was false. So some folks answered true. Correct answer was false. And the ACA actually raised some taxes. It raised taxes on individuals making more than $200,000 a year, and families making more than $250,000 per year. So the question mentioned individuals making less, and it's actually individuals that make more. So that's why the answer was false. That was that question. The second question was the ACA has been upheld by the Supreme Court, true or false? And yes, in fact, it was tested in the Supreme Court. There were many that felt that it would not be upheld, but it was in fact upheld. So the answer to that was true, but we did have some classmates that did say it was false. And there are many that felt that that would not stand, that Obamacare, ACA, PPACA, whichever we want to call it, Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act is the kind of the full name of the whole bill itself, the whole act. So this is where the name comes from. But ACA, or the Affordable Care Act, and the common name, what you will often see in the media, is Obamacare, which is now kind of converting to what's being called Trump Care. So the revisions and whatnot. So next question: under the ACA, approximately X number of Americans are stated to have access to health insurance. And this one kind of trumped. I'm sorry, I don't have Trump on the brain. That's kind of unusual for me. So Trump on the brain, but this one kind of stumped quite a few people. So the correct answer was 95%. And one would think that the entire program was meant to cover all Americans, or meant to make sure that 100% of Americans were covered. And I guess in a purely theoretical standpoint, that was the case. But one of the articles that we did have to read this week talked about how many Americans were stated to have health insurance under the ACA, and that was 94%. So I didn't want to make it too easy for you, so we did go with an approximate number. So approximately 95% of Americans under the ACA were stated to have access to health insurance once that it was fully implemented. So approximately 95% were stated to have access to health insurance once the ACA was fully implemented. And then the last question, the ACA requires people to change insurance plans if the one that they already have is too expensive. So that again was a true-false question. So a few people did choose true. That's not the case. There's no requirement to choose a less expensive plan. Of course, when it comes time for open enrollment each year, there's always the option to choose a less expensive plan if one is available. Unfortunately, that there's not necessarily always going to be one available that's less expensive, but there is that option available. But there's no requirement to choose a less expensive plan. You choose plans based on the benefit level that you want. So you may choose a more expensive plan even if there is a less expensive one available to you. You just may choose to want more detailed benefits. You may want, as we've talked about over the last several weeks, some folks choose a PPO over an HMO over a high deductible health plan, etc., because they want that benefit, not necessarily due to what it costs them. Unfortunately, if you are in a health exchange, which are the plans that are afforded to those involved in Obamacare coverage, sometimes you don't have great options available. You don't have great networks. You don't have the best options, and you do pay a high price. So one hopes that as we move forward, we do get better options available to those that are involved in those programs. And just so there's something, that the purpose of those programs were to make better options available, good options at a reasonable price. And that hasn't necessarily, it's better than no coverage, but in some cases, people opted to take the tax penalty as opposed to paying the ridiculously high premium for poor coverage. So those were the questions that seemed to fit the most things that folks got wrong. If you do have any questions on any of the other quiz questions, if you can't find an answer in our readings for week 7, please let me know. I'm happy to go over them with you. And since this is our last week, it's been a pleasure working with all of you. I know that the bulk of you come from our nursing program, so I probably won't have another opportunity to work with you. So please keep my contact info. I'm happy to help you out if you have the need for anything in the health administration realm. Please keep in mind we do have a master's in health administration here at RMU. And we would love to welcome any of you into that program if you're interested. It's fully online as well, so it's completely online coursework, and we'd love to see you join us. Dr. Holly Hampe is the program director, and she'd love to speak with you about it if you're interested. And it's a great way if you're interested in moving up further into nursing administration, those types of roles. So it's a great degree to have. So on that note, for my HSA students, I'll be seeing you probably next term. You've stuck with me again. And for everyone else, best of luck to you in your future studies and your careers. And again, any questions, please just let me know. Thanks so much.